For Armoy Armada fans, the highlight of the day was hoping for a Frank Kennedy victory in the 500cc event. Frank and Martin Sharp are riding their Welsh-built Spartans and making their international debut, but they're up against the proven Suzuki Works team of Stan Woods and Percy Tate. Front row contender Frank Kennedy looks confident in these appalling weather conditions. From the flag, Stan Woods roars into an early lead and has 100 yards up by Shell Bridge. Joey Dunlop, number 16 on the first of the private Yamahas, outbreaks fellow Armoy man Frank Kennedy, riding number 33 to grab second. By the railway embankment, Frank has regained second place and Stan Woods only leads by 3 seconds. As they head out on the coast road to complete lap 1, Joey, a close third, chases hard. Lap 2 at Portrush, and Dunlop, riding brilliantly on the 351 Yamaha, still manages to cling on to the bigger works bikes. But on lap 3, Joey retires and half the Armoy Armada challenge has gone. It's now all up to big Frank Kennedy to catch the flying works Suzuki of Stan Woods. Mastering the wet conditions, English rider Martin Sharp quickly closes the gap to Frank Kennedy. Drama on lap 4 as Stan Woods reaches Portrush with a dead engine, letting Frank Kennedy take the lead, but only just, as Martin Sharp is right on his tail. Will another works bike retire under these gruelling conditions? But right now, 2 British-built Spartans in their first international race battle it out for the lead. The rain-soaked fans sense that Big Frank is riding the race of his life, and he is, but his pit crew can hear his engine misfiring, leaving him unable to shake off the challenge from Martin Sharp on the healthier Spartan. The fast straight down into Portrush proves too much for Frank's engine, and Martin has caught and passed him by Metropole Corner. Having started from the back of the grid because his Suzuki 4 had seized in practice, pre-race favourite Percy Tate is never a challenge, but benefiting from the many retirements, Percy finds himself in a rostrum position and may yet catch Frank for second. Frank checks his troublesome engine as retiree Joey Dunlop watches from the pits, no doubt egging him on in his brave bid for glory. But as they reach the last lap, the dreamed for win is not to be. Frank's Spartan, which has been off-song throughout the race, becomes progressively worse in the final stages. It's now a case, can the big man from Armoy keep her lit till the finish? Martin Sharp takes the flag for his first international win, but it's relief all round as the fans see Frank crest Juniper Hill and glide home for a career-best second place. The relief shows on Frank's face as he proudly receives his trophy.
It was a very, very wet day. I actually was riding in that race and my bike seized, going up out of Port Stewart, up to Camore, and I was walking back to make my way back to the paddock and met the riders coming, and I couldn't believe it that Frank was leading, and he had a massive lead over Percy Tate. And I thought he was on, I really did think he was on for the one. And then he started to drop back, and he wasn't even sitting down, but he kept going on. And eventually Martin Sharp caught and passed him. And Martin said if it hadn't been that Frank's bike went off, there was no way he was winning. And remember that was an electronic thing, and it was a Krober ignition that was on them, and the 3 boxes was very close together up and at the stock with the frame, and we had, the bike went great for the first maybe 3/4 of the race, and then started to lose power. We could never ever find, but eventually it was traced to the fact that the boxes were too close together, and they were interfering with each other, and we took the middle box out and put it down the side, and the bike went great after that. So if we had known and done that, it probably would have had a Northwest one. But it was a very good. It was while it was wet, I mean, it was still a hard race. No race is easy. And there were still some of the riders that was in it was, very, very good riders.
I was hoping so. Every lap you're wanting them on and shouting, come on, but no, he would be a race for, I think that was his first race on it, or his first race certainly in the Northwest on it, and it was just brilliant to see him up there.